أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, أوثق عرى الإيمان الحب في الله والبغض في الله. The strongest knot of Iman, of faith, is to love for the sake of Allah and to hate for the sake of Allah. So continuing our sessions on what is known from Islam by necessity, after we spoke about Iman and Tawheed and Kufr and Shirk, and we spoke about the worship of Allah by our own hearts and by our own limbs, part of that worship to Allah Ta'ala by both our own heart and limbs and our tongue is in relation to love and hate. And this is the topic of Al-Wala' wal-Baraa, which is one of the foundations of Islam. Al-Wala' wal-Baraa means to love and hate, or to have allegiance or alliance and enmity or animosity for the sake of Allah. And this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ stresses the importance of this topic of love and hate, as it is tied to our Iman, our own faith. If your love and your hate is accordance to Islam and for the sake of Allah, then you are mu'min, you are a believer. And if your love and hate is opposite to that, then you are a disbeliever, you have no Iman. So this is the knot of Iman. So what is known from Islam by necessity about this topic? Inshallah, you should have your handouts with the main topics we're going to discuss about Al-Wala' wal-Bara' today. Number 1, Al-Wala'. Al-Wala' means to have the total love in your heart for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the total support for Him and for His deen with your own tongue, with your limbs. That is Al-Wala'. So that is a duty in Islam. You must have this love and allegiance to Allah exclusively. And that means that you do not have that wala and that love and allegiance to anybody else besides Allah. It is exclusive to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We do not offer that wala, that love, to other than Him subhanahu wa ta'ala at all. In Surah Ma'idah verse 55 to 57, Surah 5 verse 55 to 57, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم راكعون ومن يتولى الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا فإن حزب الله هم الغالبون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الذين اتخذوا دينكم حزوا ولعبا من الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم والكفار أولياء واتقوا الله إن كنتم مؤمنين. Allah says that your wali, the one that you have wala to, the one that you have this love and devotion to, is only Allah and His Messenger and those who believe. And those who believe, they are the ones who they pay the salah, they pay the zakat, and they make ruku'. And whoever has that love and allegiance to Allah and His Messenger and the believers, then they are the party of Allah and are victorious. O you who believe, do not take those who treat your deen as mocking and play from the people of the book or the kuffar as awliya, as people you have love and allegiance to or alliance with, and fear Allah if you are really believers. So Allah Ta'ala clearly defined for us exactly who this wala is permitted for the believer and who is prohibited for. It's only for Allah and for His Messenger, because He is the Messenger of Allah, and for those who believe in Allah because of their iman in Allah. Mean the hub, the wala is only for Allah exclusively. We only make room in our heart for other than Allah because for His sake alone, because He loves them and He wants us to love them. Otherwise we never have space to love anybody. And we never take as awliya, those we have this wala, love and devotion, allegiance to, from any of the kuffar, even the people of the book. So that is the clear message on this. Another verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Nisa, verse 144, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين أتريدون أن تجعلوا لله عليكم سلطانا مبينا. He said, oh, you who believe, do not take as allies or people you have this love for from the disbelievers instead of the believers. Do you want to take Allah as a clear proof against you? So that is al-wala, our love and allegiance only to Allah. That means certain things are completely rejected and prohibited in Islam in the modern day. When people, they give oath of allegiance to the Queen, for example, that is complete contradiction with the exclusive love and allegiance and wala to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exclusively. The one who gives oath of allegiance to the Queen or to America or to United Nations or anybody else, they are declaring kufr in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, al-Baraa. We must have complete denunciation, disassociation from the kufr and all those who believe in the kufr. Okay, to denounce, hate, disassociate from. The kufr, okay, and kuffar. You must have al-Baraa. You must have not only, deserting the love for the kuffar and their kufr. You must actively hate and denounce and have disassociation from the kufr. You must declare that I have nothing to do with them, that I am free from those kuffar. Those kuffar are on one deen and I am on a different deen. You must declare that Baraa. That is part of our own duty, and our original rules for that as well is that it must be open and apparent, not hidden. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah 60 verse 4. Surah 60 verse 4. Surah Mumtahina. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَدْ كَانَتْ لَكُمْ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ فِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَالَّذِينَ مَعَهُ إذ قالوا لقومهم إنا براء منكم ومما تعبدون من دون الله كفرنا بكم وبدا بيننا وبينكم العداوة والبغضاء أبدا حتى تؤمنوا بالله وحده. He said there's a good example for you to follow in Ibrahim and those with him. When they said to their people, we have Baraa from you, we are completely denouncing and have disassociation from you and everything you worship instead of Allah. We disbelieve in you. Have kufr, we disbelieve in you. I mean, you are disbelievers, we are believers. Anybody who believes in what you believe or worship what you worship, we have kufr in that. That is disbelief and kufr. And what we have is iman. And there has appeared between you and us only animosity and hatred forever until you worship Allah alone. Also, Allah says in Surah Ma'idah verse 2, I'll explain this inshaAllah. An important point to elaborate on that. Surah Ma'idah verse 2, I'll give you the verse in a moment inshaAllah after I explain. So we declare this denunciation, this association, this hatred, this complete rejection of the kuffar and everything they worship instead of Allah. But that hatred is Islamic hatred. It is hatred for the sake of Allah. What's the difference between the way we hate for the sake of Allah and the hatred that is known in the West among the kuffar? When the kuffar hate somebody, they oppress them, they harm them, they attack them, they insult them, they swear at them. When the kuffar hate somebody, they look down upon them and use every opportunity to take away their rights. Whereas in Islam, when we hate for the sake of Allah, we do not stop being just and fair with them, or calling them to Islam and hoping and wanting something better for them, that is to leave their kufr and come to Islam. So it's completely different. Whereas the kuffar, they hate Muslims and they oppress us. They call us terrorists, they call us fundamentalists, and they put us behind bars, keep us in prison, extradite us everywhere, bomb us, kill us. The Muslims, when we hate the kuffar, we want for them to come to Islam. We treat them in the best manner. We don't allow that hatred and anger to lead us to transgress or oppress them. And that is what's mentioned in the verse in Surah Ma'idah, verse 2. Allah Ta'ala says, وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنْآنُ قَوْمٍ أن صدوكم عن المسجد الحرام أن تعتدوا وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان واتقوا الله إن الله شديد العقاب. Allah says, do not allow your hatred for a people that stop you from going to the Masjid Haram, to the Kaaba. Do not allow that hatred and anger towards them make you or allow you to transgress against them, but rather cooperate together in good deeds and taqwa, and do not cooperate in the bad deeds or the transgression. And know that, and fear Allah, Allah is severe in punishment. And on that point, I'll give you one more verse, inshaAllah, Surah Al-Mumtahina, verse 8 and 9. Surah 60, verse 8 to 9. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, there's no media here at the moment, inshallah, just so you know, and we'll let you know before they arrive, inshallah. They may not arrive, I think. I haven't been checking my messages, but I feel they might have cancelled. Allah Ta'ala says, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليه إن الله يحب المقسطين. Allah says, Allah does not forbid you regarding those who do not fight you for your deen and do not throw you out of your homes. Allah does not forbid you regarding those people from having kindness and justice with them, and Allah loves those who are just. إنما ينهاكم الله عن الذين قاتلوكم في الدين وأخرجوكم من دياركم وظاهروا على إخراجكم أن تولوهم ومن يتولهم فأولئك هم الظالمون. Allah says, Allah only forbids you regarding those who fight you for your deen and throw you out from your home, or help those who are throwing you out. Allah forbids you from allying or loving or having allegiance with them, and whoever has this alliance with them, they are from the oppressors, meaning the disbelievers. Number 3, Hubbullah. Okay. You must love Allah. More specifically now, you must have this love in your heart for Allah, and to be stubborn in that love. You never have that love that you have for Allah for anybody else, and you'll never allow anybody to be more beloved to you, or anything to be more beloved to you than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Baraa, verse 165. Surah 2, verse 165. Okay, Surah 2, verse 165. Allah Ta'ala says, ومن الناس من يتخذ من دون الله أندادا يحبونهم كحب الله والذين آمنوا أشد حبا لله ولو يرى الذين ظلموا إذ يرون العذاب أن القوة لله جميعا وأن الله شديد العذاب. Allah Ta'ala says, from mankind there are those who take besides Allah andad, rivals, tawaghit, false gods. They love them the way they love Allah. But the believers, they are stubborn in their own love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exclusively. And if those disbelievers could see the punishment, okay, and that they will suffer, and that all of the power belongs to Allah alone, and that Allah is severe in punishment. If only they had seen that. Number 4, Hubbul Rasul. to love the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a duty. We must love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we must love His Messenger. The one who hates the Messenger of Allah, he has disbelieved in Allah, even if he said I love Allah. Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Tawbah verse 24, قل إن كان آباؤكم وأبناؤكم وإخوانكم وأزواجكم وعشيرتكم وأموال اقترفتموها وتجارة تخشون كسادها ومساكن ترضونها أحب إليكم من الله ورسوله وجهاد في سبيله فتربصوا حتى يأتي الله بأمره. Allah says, say, if your own parents, your own children, your own brothers and sisters, your own wives or husbands, your own tribes, your own wealth that you've been building up, your own trade that you fear decline, your own homes that you live in, if any of these are more beloved to you than Allah and His Messenger and the jihad in His path, then wait for the punishment of Allah to come to you. Also in Sahih Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ said, no one of you is a believer until he loves Allah and His Messenger more than anything else. It's the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ said, no one of you is a believer until he loves Allah and His Messenger more than anything else. Another hadith also in Bukhari, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, by the one who my soul is in his hand, no one of you has believed until I am more beloved to him than his own parents and children. Abu Hurairah narrated, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, by the one who my soul is in his hand, none of you have believed until I am more beloved to him than his own parents and children. Okay, it's in Sahih al-Bukhari as well. Number 5, Al-Hubbu Fillah, to love for the sake of Allah. The one who loves Allah exclusively, the one who has al-wala, the total love and support and devotion to Allah exclusively, he will love everything that Allah loves, and he will hate everything that Allah hates. Okay? He will love whatever Allah loves and hates whatever Allah will hate. So you see, in this hadith we mentioned at the beginning of the topic, I can put both these points up together, inshallah. They're the same. Al-Bughd Fillah as well is number 6. Okay. To love for the sake of Allah, Al-Hubbu Fillah, and to hate for the sake of Allah, Al-Bughd Fillah. That means whatever Allah hates the oppression, Allah hates the kufr, Allah hates shirk, Allah hates fahisha, Allah hates stealing, Allah hates lying, Allah hates the bid'ah and the kufr. So we hate all of these things as well for the sake of Allah. Allah loves the believers, Allah loves the mujahideen, Allah loves the sahaba, Allah loves the prophets and the messengers, Allah loves the angels, Allah loves the good deeds and the tawheed and the worship and the salah. So we love them as well for the sake of Allah. That is the one who has iman. And we mentioned the hadith before in Bukhari and Muslim that the Prophet ﷺ said, أوثق عرى الإيمان الحب في الله والبغض في الله. The strongest knot of iman is to love for the sake of Allah and to hate for the sake of Allah. Okay? To love for the sake of Allah and to hate for the sake of Allah. And also an ayah we can mention briefly, inshaAllah. I don't know if I have a reference for it, but the reference I believe in Surah Al-Hujurat, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Allah beautified and made the iman beloved to you. وَحَبَّبَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْإِيمَانِ وَزَيَّنَهُ فِي قُلُوبِكُم. Allah made the Iman beloved to you and beautified it in your own hearts. وَكَرَّهَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْكُفْرَ وَالْفُسُوقَ وَالْعِصْيَانِ. And He made the disbelief and the sin and the disobedience hated to you. Okay? Those are the people who have Iman. If you believe in Allah, then you will find the Iman beloved to you. And you will find the kufr hated to you. And the disobedience and the sin, you'll find it hated to you. Okay? Because you love for the sake of Allah and you hate for the sake of Allah. Number 7. Al-Mu'akhat. Brotherhood. Brotherhood of Islam. You must have and understand that the believers are a brotherhood, and we have this ukhuwah, this brother to be brothers and sisters in Islam is exclusive to the ummah of Islam of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, in these times, doesn't matter if somebody claims they used to believe in today's times they believe in Isa, now they're obliged to believe in Muhammad. Okay, in the time of Isa, those who believed in him, they were the believers. Today, only the ummah of Muhammad are believers and brothers. Anybody who does not believe in Muhammad, they are from the kuffar and they are not brothers. Okay, rather the brotherhood is based upon the iman, on the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exclusively. Allah says in Surah Hujurat, verse 10, Surah 49, verse 10. إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون. Allah says, only the believers are a brotherhood. Okay. Only the believers are a brotherhood. So reconcile between your two brothers and fear Allah so that you can have mercy. Okay. So the brotherhood cannot be based upon anything else except for that iman, that tawheed, la ilaha illallah. If you base the brotherhood on nationalism or a race or a color or a tribe, these things are all nonsense and destroyed and cursed. The one whose brotherhood is based upon a color or a flag, that is cursed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet ﷺ declared himself free from anybody who has these ideas of nationalism. And we'll learn about some of those nationalism points later on as well, inshallah. The Prophet ﷺ said in Bukhari, Al-Muslim akhul Muslim. The Muslim is a brother to another Muslim. Okay? The Muslim is a brother to another Muslim. So we'll always have this brotherhood only between the Muslims, between the believers. We never consider the kuffar our brothers, no matter what else we share with them. Okay? Doesn't matter if we share the same passport, the same citizenship, the same flag, doesn't matter. If we like the same colour or the same football team, makes no difference to us. What unites the people is their own belief, their own aqeedah. If the people are united on the aqeedah of Islam, then they are our brothers. If they are on the aqeedah of the kuffar, any one of the kuffar, as far as we're concerned, all of the kuffar are the same. What difference does it make if you are a Jewish kafir or a Christian kafir? They're both kafir. Okay? Both of them on the aqeedah of kufr. For us, the Muslims are one camp and the kuffar are another camp. That brotherhood and that exclusive wala to Islam is manifested in our own limbs and our own tongue in many matters. One of them is the fact that not only do we say that we are brothers, only the Muslims are brothers, but we don't even want to appear to be one of the kuffar. We want to make those distinguishing lines clear. The Muslims are one camp together and will always stand together no matter what enemy comes our way. And we don't even want to appear to be from among the kuffar. Other people will doubt us. You stand with America in their own wars against Islam, people will think you're kafir. You stand in the parliaments with the kuffar and where they're worshipping their own gods of democracy, people will think you're kafir. Because you're one of them. Why would they think anything different? If you stand under a nationalistic banner, calling for democracy, fighting for democracy in Syria, people will call you kafir. What do you expect? Because that is the deen of the kuffar, it's not the deen of the Muslims. Especially if you're allying with the kuffar to fight against Muslims. No matter which Muslim they are. Even if you think they are the Khawarij, for example. Like people to talk about the Khilafah today as they are Khawarij, they say. But they don't call them kafir. Khawarij are Muslims. Okay? The deviation of the Khawarij is lesser kufr until they go to the extreme. So if they are saying that they are Muslims and yet they ally with Saudi Arabia or with Egypt or with Turkey or with America or any other kufr regime or United Nations or the Kurdish Peshmerga, these murgas, these like chickens. Yeah? They said that they are fearless. Okay? They're afraid of nothing at all. They said they can look death in the face even, except for the Islamic State fighters. They can't look them in the face. They run away. If anybody wants to ally with them against the Khilafah, even if you call them Khawarij, you become kafir. And we're going to learn about that as well, inshallah. But the whole point is, we don't want to even look like the kuffar. We don't want to appear to be one of them at all. Which is why the Prophet ﷺ forbade even to imitate or look like them. Tashabbuh. Tashabbuh bil kuffar. Okay. Imitating the disbelievers. The Prophet ﷺ said in hadith in Bukhari, "Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa min." Whoever imitates a people, he is one of them. Okay? Whoever imitates a people, he is one of them. So if you are going to copy and emulate the Messenger of Allah and the Sahaba, inshallah you'll be among them on the day of judgment. If you are going to imitate the kuffar and the mushrikeen and the sinners and the disobedient, then maybe you're going to be with them on the day of judgment. You need to be careful who we emulate, who we make ourselves look like. At-tashabbuh literally, it's describing the one who, tries to make himself look similar to somebody else. So if you're trying to make yourself look similar to a kafir, you like David Beckham's haircut, so I want to look like him. That is the one making tashabbuh, making imitation. So if you're imitating the people of sin, so the people think you're one of them, as if you're one of them. Okay? So to imitate kuffar, it is the same. Now what does that mean exactly? Does that mean we're not allowed to wear watch? No, the watch everybody wears them. Muslims wear them, kuffar wear them, doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with it. But what is known to be for the kuffar, like their religious dress, to wear the priest outfit and the collar, to wear the Jewish hats and their own, to make your hair and the sideburns like the Jews, for example. It's not allowed in Islam because people think you're like them. If they see you in the street, they're going to think you're a Jew. If you walk around in a priest outfit, people are going to think you're Christian. You walk around wearing Father Christmas outfit, they're going to think you're kuffar. You're from the kuffar, because that's not the deen of Islam. You're celebrating their festivals, celebrating their Easter and their Christmas and their Halloween and their Valentine's Day and all these things. People are going to think you're one of them. That's why these schools are very dangerous, because they teach our children to be like the kuffar and to imitate them. Okay? So it's very dangerous for us to do that. So we don't even want to look like the kuffar. Okay? So to imitate them in any of their sins, in their festivals, in their kufr, in their religion, in their nationalism, any of these things, it is prohibited in Islam. Number 9, muwalat al-kuffar. Okay. Muwalat means to help and support and ally with them. Okay? So to ally, support I'll put it like this, to support the kufr. Okay? What we mean here really is the kuffar, the disbelievers. Okay? If you help the disbelievers in their kufr, in their deen, when you're showing your wala to them, to their deen. If you support and have this muwalat and helping them in their own religion, or to promote their religion, or to make their deen highest, or to help their deen defeat Islam, you'll become kafir. Because you've negated your wala and your bara, and you flipped it on its head. You've declared your allegiance to the kuffar and your bara from Islam. There's no way for you to help the kuffar to commit the shirk. For example, how? You build them a church for them to worship in. You build them an idol for them to worship. You cooperate with them in their own festivals of worshipping, of their own slaughtering. For example, imagine you are holding the animal for the mushrik to slaughter in the name of their own god. Okay? Nobody will do that unless they are supporting that deen, that kufr. Unless they are giving their own support for the deen. If you have any support for other than Islam, for any other deen other than Islam, you become, you've negated your wala. You no longer have wala to Islam. The other way that is more common that people have this wala to the kuffar, and is clear, very very clear, is when those kuffar are in a war against Islam, and you help them in that war. How can you interpret that in any other way? I'm supporting Islam by helping them fight Islam. No, nobody fights a deen unless they're opposed to it, and nobody supports a deen against it except they love and support that deen. So if you are helping democracy to defeat Islam, Sharia, Khilafah, that means you are against the Sharia and Khilafah and you are in favor of democracy. That is what is apparent, and we judge the apparent. And that is kufr akbar, will take a person outside of the fold of Islam. Allah Ta'ala says in Surah 3 verse 28, and there are many verses like this anyway. 3 verse 28, Allah Ta'ala says, لا يتخذ المؤمنون الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين ومن يفعل ذلك فليس من الله في شيء إلا أن تتقوا منهم تقاتا ويحذركم الله نفسه وإلى الله المصير. Allah Ta'ala says, let the believers not take as allies the disbelievers instead of the believers. If anybody did that, then they will have nothing from Allah Ta'ala in terms of help. Unless it was a matter of under duress, they did it as tuqya, mean because they were forced, like Ammar bin Yasir, they were forced to do that, so they hid their own love for Islam because of their afraid for their lives. And Allah Ta'ala will caution you with this, and your end is with Allah Ta'ala. Also, Surah Ma'idah verse 51. Okay, Surah Ma'idah verse 51. Surah 5 verse 51. Allah Ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء بعضهم أولياء بعض ومن يتولهم منكم فإنه منهم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. O you who believe, do not take the Jews and Christians as allies. They are only allies to one another. And whoever among you allies to them, he is one of them. And verily Allah does not guide the oppressors. Allah does not guide the oppressors. Inshallah, this is enough. There's many other verses, but this is enough, inshallah, for us to move on. What number then? 10. Number 10. مشاركة أنظمة الكفر. We do not share power or authority with kufr regimes or kufr organizations. Okay, we cannot do that. It's kufr to do so. We we do not have any interest in sharing the authority in government and ruling with kuffar. For example, to have this idea of coalition government, part Muslim, part Kufr, democratic system, democratic government, some Muslim MPs and some Kuffar MPs, and we all legislate our own Kufr deen. That's not called Islam, and it's not allowed in Islam. We don't have this idea of you rule part and we rule part, or you rule for a year and we rule for a year. In fact, they offered that to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They offered that to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Said, we will worship your God for a year and you worship our God for a year. What did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? He said, it's very good. 1 year, all of you become Muslim. Alhamdulillah. All we have to do is you have to do a little bit of kufr, in the process. Offer that to the people today, they will jump at the chance. Morsi took it, but the Prophet ﷺ rejected and refused, and he never allowed. Rather, Allah Ta'ala ordered him to make Baraa from the shirk by the verse of the Surah Al-Kafirun, Surah 109, verses 1 to 6. Surah Al-Kafirun, Allah Ta'ala says, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. What should be the reply to somebody who says to you like this? Let's share power. Okay? Like America offering to the Kurdish and offering to the Free Syrian Army and the SRF and all these other groups. They're offering them, look, we'll share with you. We will help you, we'll support you, and when you take power, you can look after us, we'll look after you. Scratch our back, we scratch your back. That is what they are offering. Allah Ta'ala revealed the response to that should be قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. Say, O kuffar, O disbelievers. I mean what? Don't pretend like we are from the same deen. You are kuffar and we are believers. لَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ. I don't worship what you worship. You don't worship what I worship. Okay? وَلَا تَعْبُدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ. You don't worship what I worship. And I will never worship what you worship. And you don't worship what I will worship. لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِيَ دِينِ. You have your deen and we have our deen. Meaning your deen is kufr and our deen is Islam, is the haqq, is the truth. And the two will never share power, will never come together. We'll never have this arrangement of you have some and I have some. Okay. Also Allah Ta'ala says in Surah 5 verse 49, there's only one option for us in terms of ruling and judging and taking authority. Allah Ta'ala says, وَأَنِحْكُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهِ وَلَا تَتَّبِعْ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ وَاحْذَرْهُمْ أَنْ يُفْتِنُوكَ عَنْ بَعْدِ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكَ فَإِنْ تَوَلَّوْا فَاعْلَمْ أَنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أَنْ يُصِيبَهُمْ بِبَعْضِ ذُنُوبِهِمْ وَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ لَفَاسِقُونَ. Allah Ta'ala says, rule and judge between them by whatever Allah revealed, and do not follow their desires. I mean, don't follow what the kuffar want from you. And beware of them, be careful of them, that they might put you into fitna and make you leave or make you in confusion about, if they might divert you away from even some of what Allah revealed. And if they turn away, then know that Allah Ta'ala wants to afflict them with some of their own sins in the dunya, and the majority of the people are sinners. Okay. Number 11. مخالطة الكفار. We don't take close, intimate friends from the disbelievers. Okay, over here, close, trusted friends from the disbelievers. Okay, what is friendship? The friendship is when you enjoy each other's company, you consult each other in your affairs, and you trust them with your secrets. That relationship is not to be shared with kuffar, because you cannot trust them with your secrets. They do not give you good advice when you consult them in your affairs, and their evil company will harm you and affect you. That's why the Prophet ﷺ forbade us and warned us, a man is on the deen of his friends, so be careful who your friends are. Okay? Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Ma'idah verse 80 to 81. Surah 5 verse 80 to 81. Surah 80 to 81. And it says, one second. ترى كثيرا منهم يتولون الذين كفروا لبئس ما قدمت لهم أنفسهم أن سخط الله عليهم وفي العذاب هم خالدون ولو كانوا يؤمنون بالله والنبي وما أنزل إليه ما اتخذوهم أولياء ولكن كثيرا منهم فاسقون. So you see many from them allying or having friendship and alliance with the disbelievers, and how evil is what they have sent forth for themselves that angered Allah Ta'ala, and put them in the hellfire, in the severe punishment forever. And if they had believed in Allah and His Messenger and what was revealed to Him, they would never have taken them as friends or allies. But the majority of them are sinners or rebellious. Also in Surah Ali Imran verse 118 to 119. Surah 3 verse 118 to 119. Allah Ta'ala says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا بطانة من دونكم لا يألونكم خبالا ودوا ما عنتم قد بدت البغضاء من أفواههم وما تخفي صدورهم أكبر قد بينا لكم الآيات إن كنتم صادقين إن كنتم تعقلون. Allah says, oh, you who believe, do not take as close friends bitana. Bitana is the one who is the close intimate friend. Everybody has friends and colleagues and acquaintances, but then they have these close friends that are the ones who are really trusted to them, the ones who they turn to in hard times. The word bitana is like the one who, his clothes, the inside of his clothes, how close that is to your body, that is the bitana. So those close friends, he said, don't ever take as these close friends from besides Muslims, for anybody else other than Muslims, because the kuffar will never stop corrupting you or harming you. They want your destruction, or they want you to be harmed, and their own hatred has appeared from their own mouths, but what they hide in their chests is even worse. Allah has made this clear to you if you are people of sanity, people of minds, who have minds. ها أنتم أولئك تحبونهم لا يحبونكم وتؤمنون بالكتاب كله وإذا لقوكم قالوا آمنا وإذا خلوا عدوا عليكم الأنامل من الغيظ قل موتوا بغيظكم إن الله عليم بذات الصدور. He says, here you are. What's the matter with you? You love them, but they don't love you. And you are the ones who believe in all of the books. And whenever they meet you, they say, we believe. But when they are alone, they are angry with you and they bite their own fingers off in rage. Okay, let me stop here for a second. Let me just go over what we just said. Allah is declaring, okay, reminding us, warning us. Look, here you are. أنتم أولئك. Look at you. Okay, تحبونهم ولا يحبونكم. You love them, but they don't love you. Who does that remind you of? Nowadays there are some people, they love Britain and the Queen and the Prime Minister, and they love America, and they love all those kuffar. They really love them, but they don't even notice and realize that those kuffar don't love them back. They don't like them at all. Just like the ayah is telling you, Allah warned us before, don't be fools. And you think, no, Allah got it wrong. No, John's okay, he's good kafir, he's my mate. Don't think like this. Allah told you in the Quran, those kuffar, you love them, they don't love you back. You believe in all of their books, you believe in the Torah and the Injil and the Quran, and they don't want to believe in the Quran. They don't believe in the books. Not only that, they say when they meet you, they say we believe. Okay? When they come out and show it to you, they come to meet you, they say, in fact, Islam is a religion of peace. It's a good religion. Okay? It's only those terrorists that hijacked it. This is what they will say to you. David Cameron, if you come to the masjid, he'll come with a topi on. He'll come to you and say, look, in fact, we are all brothers in humanity, and in Britain, we are British, and we love Britain, and we are the Muslims, and I know the Muslims are good, and I have the Quran. What was it, Tony Blair used to read the Quran at night? Every night he said he used to read the Quran. This is the story. And you had Bush, he was the top mufassir of the West. He's made the big, and he used to be even takfiri as well. He used to say, I don't think Saddam Hussein is really Muslim. This man takfiri. So you find the kuffar, whatever they say to you, in fact we believe. Islam is fantastic religion. It's excellent, it's brilliant. It's only those extremists that believe in the hijab. Only the extremists that believe in the jihad. They will have this speech with you. But really, when they are alone, and you can see it in their own face, when they are away from you, they are really biting their fingers off at you. And rage and anger to you. So how should you respond to them? Would you say to them what? Don't bite your fingers, we love you? No. Should say to them, die in your rage. That should be the wala and bara. We know exactly who we are, we know exactly who they are. Inna Allah alim bi dhati sudur. Allah, the one who knows what is in the chest. You don't know what's in their heart, all those kuffar. Allah knows. Allah is the only one who has that information. And He's telling you, He's giving you that window into their own hearts to tell you this is the kuffar. So you know what your relationship should be. The fool is the one who ignores that and thinks that he can have good relationship and close friendship and trust the kuffar instead. Okay? And the Prophet ﷺ as well, he said that you should not وَلَا تُصَاحِبْ إِلَّا مُؤْمِنٍ. Do not take as a companion except for a believer. Don't take as a companion except for a believer. Then you have something else, inshallah. Number 12. مخالفة حكام الظلمة. Which means do not be friends with tyrant rulers. Okay? Do not be friends with tyrant rulers. Okay? Even if they are Muslim. Even if they are Muslim. Even if they were Muslim Khalifa. Okay? But they used to have oppression and sins. Don't take them as your friends. You're to ally with them, become government preacher, or become one help him in his own oppression. That's if he's Muslim. Let alone for you to have that friendship and allegiance to the Tawaghit Kuffar. Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Hud, verse 113, okay, Surah 11, verse 113. ولا تركنوا إلى الذين ظلموا فتمسكم النار وما لكم من دون الله من أولياء ثم لا تنصرون. It says, do not relax or to have this consenting with the people of oppression, otherwise the hellfire will touch you, and you will never have after that any help besides any helper instead of Allah, and you will never have victory or support. The Prophet ﷺ, he said in Sunan al-Tirmidhi and also in al-Nasa'i and also al-Hakim, the Prophet ﷺ said, there will be rulers after me, whoever enters upon them and believes their lies and helps them with their oppression, then he is not from me and I am not from him, and he will not join me at al-Hawd, the fountain in Jannah. And whoever does not enter upon them nor help them with their oppression and doesn't believe their lies, then he is from me and I am from him, and he will join me at al-Hawd. Okay, so I'll repeat that again. So there will be rulers after me. whoever enters upon them and believes their lies and helps them with their oppression, yes, there will be rulers after me, whoever enters upon them and believes their lies and helps them with their oppression, then he is not from me and I am not from him. And he is not from me and I am not from him. And he will not join me at Al-Hawd. Okay? This is the fountain of the messenger in Jannah, or on the day of judgment. Okay? And he will not join me at Al-Hawd. And whoever does not enter upon them, nor help them with their oppression, and does not believe their lies, then he is from me and I am from him, and he will join me at Al-Hawd. And whoever does not enter upon them, nor help them with their oppression, and doesn't believe their lies, then he is from me and I am from him, and he will join me at Al-Hawd. Okay. And as I said, this hadith is talking about Muslim rules. Yes.
Is this limited to Al-Kuffar?
No, this even in this hadith is talking about the Muslim rulers even. So if there was a Khalifa who was an oppressor, then the people should not be helping him in that oppression at all. Okay, even if they obey him as a Khalifa in the good deeds, but they should never obey him in the bad deeds or help him in that oppression. But for greater reason, the kuffar thought there's no way for us to ever have that kind of relationship with them at all. Okay. This is why the ulama of the Salaf used to say, if you see a scholar at the gates of the rulers, mean the Khalifa, then call him the thief or doubt him in his deeds. There's many different narrations of what they used to say about that. But they used to consider the government, the palace scholar, the al-ulama al-salatin, the palace scholars, they used to consider them to be not trustworthy. People of sin. Let alone for you to be the mufti of a taghut of Fir'aun. Okay? For example, we have this ayah as well. Surah Hud verse 97. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إلى فرعون وملئه فاتبعوا أمر فرعون وما أمر فرعون برشيد. He says, he sent Musa alayhi salam to Fir'aun and his ministers as well. Allah put them together. Those who are the ministers and the alliance and the court of the Taghut, they are part of them. They are together with them. Okay? So it says they sent them to Fir'aun and his chiefs, his ministers. Because those ministers, they followed the commands of Fir'aun. And the commands of Fir'aun, they were not good commands. They were not righteous. So the one who follows and accepts and cooperates with the oppressor in his oppression, in his evil commands, he will be accountable for that as well. It's not enough just to say, no, it's not my sin, it's the sin of the Khalifa or the ruler or the Taghut. No, you will be accountable as well. If you want to become minister for him, it's not acceptable. Even the Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to rise up and speak up and forbid the evil of the oppressors. Even if it was a Muslim ruler, but for great reason, the kuffar rulers who we even fight against. The Muslim ruler will speak against him, but we do not fight against him, even if he had some oppression. But the one who commits kufr bawah, the clear kufr, we will fight and rise against him by the sword as well to replace him. In Muslim Ahmad, the Prophet ﷺ was asked the question, أي أفضل الجهاد? What is the greatest jihad? And he said, كلمة حق عند سلطان جائر. He said it is to speak a word of truth in front of a tyrant ruler. Okay. So they said, what is the best jihad? He said, to speak a word of truth in front of a tyrant ruler. This is the best jihad of the tongue. Okay. It is to speak a word of truth in front of a tyrant ruler. Okay, all with me? Okay. So the next point, inshallah, maybe we'll go to the other board now. The new wiper. That works well.
Insulation.
Okay. Number 13.
Yeah.
توحيد المسلمين. To unite the Muslims. We must unite the Muslims and we must be united. We do not split up the Muslims. Okay? It's a duty for the Muslims to unite together, and if people are differing, to bring them together and unite. That is a duty upon us. That is part of our own wala and bara, and the brotherhood of Islam is for you to make that brotherhood united and not to be disunited. Allah Ta'ala says in Surah 3 verse 103. Okay, Surah Ali Imran verse 103. Allah Ta'ala says, واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون. Allah says, hold fast or unite together on the rope of Allah and do not be divided. Okay? Unite together on the rope of Allah and do not be divided. And remember the blessing of Allah upon you when you used to be enemies to each other. He's talking about the Aus and the Khazraj, the tribes of the Ansar. They used to be at war with each other for many years. He said, remember the blessing of Allah when you used to be enemies to each other and Allah brought your hearts together. And so you appeared after that, you became after that with the mercy of Allah, with the blessing of Allah, brothers. And you used to be on a branch of the hellfire and Allah saved you from that. And that is the way Allah clarifies His verses or signs to you so that you can be guided. The Prophet ﷺ also said, a hadith in Bukhari and Muslim. No, a hadith in Nasa'i, sorry. I think, let me just check this again. Yeah, so in Sunan Nasa'i, hadith number 3954, the Prophet ﷺ said, there will be after me calamity after calamity. Whoever you see leaving the Jama'ah or seeking to divide you when you are united under the Jama'ah, kill him whoever he is. Because Allah's hand is over the Jama'ah and the shaitan is far from the Jama'ah that is running together. Okay, I'll repeat this hadith again. One thing you should understand, the meaning of the word here, al-Jama'ah, is referring to Jama'atul Muslimin, meaning the Muslims who are united under a Khalifa. That is called the Jama'ah. That's always the case. That's why they always say the one who withdraws the hand of Bay'ah and he leaves the Jama'ah, okay, means he leaves Darul Islam, leaves the Khilafah to live between the Mushrikeen and Darul Kufr, okay, then he dies in residence of Jahiliyyah. Okay, so that's another hadith anyway. But the Jama'ah here is talking about when the Muslims unite under a Khalifa, ruling and governing their own affairs by Islam, by the Sharia. Okay, if somebody wants to divide that and break that up and stop it, that person should be fought and prevented. The hadith says, there is going to be after me calamity after calamity. Whoever you see leaving the Jama'ah or seeking to divide you when you were united under the Jama'ah, kill him whoever he is. I mean, it doesn't matter how great a man he was considered to be. Even if he was a great scholar or a great leader or a great mujahid, it doesn't matter. You cannot divide the ummah. That is how serious it is. So whoever you see leaving the Jama'ah or seeking to divide you when you were united under the Jama'ah, kill him whoever he is. Because Allah's hand is over the Jama'ah and the shaitan is far from the Jama'ah that's running together. Okay? Shaitan is far from the Jama'ah that is running together. Hadith in Sunan al-Nasa'i, hadith number 3954. So there's going to be after me calamity after calamity. Whoever you see leaving the Jama'ah or seeking to divide you when you are united under the Jama'ah, okay, or seeking to divide you when you are united under the Jama'ah, kill him whoever he is. Allah's hand is over the Jama'ah. Okay. Allah's hand is over the Jama'ah, and the shaitan is far from the Jama'ah running together. Okay. The shaitan will be far away from the Jama'ah that's running together. Okay, you with me? Number 14. الاهتمام بأمر المسلمين. To be concerned about the affairs of the Muslims. To be concerned about the affairs of the Muslims. The Prophet ﷺ said, the example of the unity of the Muslims is like a building, okay, a single building. Each part supports the other. Okay? Each part supports the other. This hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. So the example of the unity of the Muslims is like the example of a single building. Each part strengthens and supports the other. Okay. This is in Bukhari and Muslim. Another hadith in Sahih Bukhari that the Prophet ﷺ said, you see the believers in their mercy and love among themselves resembling one body. If any part of that body is sick, the whole body will share the sleeplessness and fever with it. Okay. So he said, you see the believers in their mercy and love among each other, among themselves, resembling one body. If any part of it is in suffering or is in pain, then the whole body shares the sleeplessness and fever with it. Hadith in Bukhari. You got that? You with me? Got it, yeah? Okay. So we shouldn't be some of those people who don't care. The Muslim affairs are our affairs. The Muslim pain is our pain. Some people go their whole life and they don't even bother what's going on abroad. They didn't even know there are Muslims being killed, being murdered, being occupied, being invaded. They don't even know. Some people, when the last month or so, they never even heard that there was a khilafah being established. How is that possible, you think? Because the Muslim should be always concerned. He's always up to date with the news. He's always checking. Always wants to know. Okay? Because that's what happens when you love somebody. You want to know what's the latest with them. When you love the believers, you always want to know what's happened. What's happening with them. Do they need anything? Are they in need for anything? Are they suffering? Are they healthy? Are they well? How can I help them? How can I serve them? That is what the one who loves. And the one who doesn't care, he doesn't really know. Okay? So the Muslims, the way they love each other, they're always concerned and always chasing up the latest information about what is happening with the Muslims. Okay. Number 15. الزود على المسلمين. Okay. To protect defend. He ought to defend and protect the Muslims. The Muslim always supports and defends his Muslim brother. Whether that was a physical attack that he repels, or the slander and the attack verbally by the kuffar against Muslims, he will be the one to stand and defend them. When they accuse Muslims, oh, they are murderers, they are this, they are that. Well, hang on a minute, that's a lie. Don't be the one who's shy to say that your Muslim brother has been falsely accused. Rather, some people instead of defending them, they believe them and jump on the bandwagon and start accusing them as well, and spread the rumours even more. That is a serious sin. The Muslim will defend their own brother behind his back, and protect his brother behind his back, and protect the Ummah, and defend the Ummah always. They will never allow Islam to be harmed from his side. He will defend it from where he is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Nisa verse 75, وما لكم لا تقاتلون في سبيل الله والمستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان الذين يقولون ربنا أخرجنا من هذه القرية الظالم أهلها واجعل لنا من لدنك وليا واجعل لنا من لدنك نصيرا. It says, what is the matter with you that you do not fight in the way of Allah and those oppressed men, women and children who they say, our Lord, save us from, or take us out from this city whose people are oppressors, and send from us, from you, somebody who will help, and send from us, from you, somebody who will support us. The Prophet ﷺ said, narrated by Abu Hurairah, in Abu Dawood and Bukhari, in Al-Adab al-Mufrad for Imam Bukhari, he said, the believer, al-mu'min mir'atu mu'min. The believer is a mirror to the believer. And the believer is the brother of the believer. He safeguards his property and defends him from behind. He said the believer is a mirror for the believer. And the believer is the brother of the believer. He safeguards his property for him and defends him from behind. Okay. The believer is a mirror for the believer, and the believer is the brother of the believer. He safeguards his property for him and defends him from behind. This is what it means to have wala and bara. This is what, when we say we are brotherhood, we have muwalat, that's what it means. Not just to say in name, yeah, the Muslims are my brothers. But when they are attacked, you ignore them. When they are in need of help, you turn your back on them. When the kuffar gather against them, you join them. That's not called al-wala wal-bara. That's not called brotherhood. Brotherhood means that he loves his brother. He supports him. He's concerned about him. He defends him from behind, protects him. And as well, number 16. Is it number 16? Yeah. قضاء حاجة المسلمين. They fulfill the needs of the Muslims. You'll find some Muslims, they're always concerned and always asking, does anybody need anything? Some people, some Muslims, you'll find they're the ones, he knows who's poor in the area, who doesn't. I remember last Ramadan, when we were doing, it was time for Zakat al-Fitr time. Suddenly you realized, because now you need to give Zakat al-Fitr. And this is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He reminds us in this way. Suddenly, people were rushing around trying to find who needs the money, who is poor, who is needy. And it occurred to me that, subhanAllah, the whole year we never asked. Only now that we have a problem, I need to get rid of my Zakat al-Fitr, then we start asking people what they need. When we should have known that before. We should have been asking all the time. We should know when there's a family that doesn't have money, there's a family that doesn't have food, family can't pay their rent. We should know about all the Muslims, what their own situation. and we should fulfill those needs, not just in Ramadan time, but all the time. The Prophet ﷺ said, the hadith Sahih in Muslim, said, whoever removes a hardship, a worldly hardship from a believer, Allah will remove from him one of the hardships of the Day of Judgment. So whoever removes a hardship from a believer, Allah will remove from him one of the hardships of the Day of Judgment. Whoever removes a hardship from a believer, Allah will remove from him one of the hardships of the Day of Judgment. And whoever fulfills the need of a needy person, Allah will fulfill his needs in this dunya and in the hereafter. In this world and in the hereafter. And whoever fulfills the need of a needy person, Allah will fulfill his needs in this world and in the hereafter. And whoever shields a Muslim, Allah will shield him in this world and in the hereafter. Okay? For example, you hide his own shortcomings and mistakes. Okay? So Allah will hide your shortcomings and mistakes and protect you. Okay? And if you expose your brother, Allah will expose you. But anyway, that's another hadith. Okay? Whoever shields a Muslim, Allah will shield him in this world and in the hereafter. And Allah will support his slave as long as he supports his brother. The last part, Allah will support his slave as long as he supports his brother. Got it? Everything? Okay, last point inshallah. Number 17. Nusrat al-Muslimin. You must support the Muslims. You must support them, you must help them, especially when they are in need. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Anfal verse 72. He said, إن الذين آمنوا وهاجروا وجاهدوا بأموالهم وأنفسهم في سبيل الله والذين آووا ونصروا أولئك بعضهم أولياء بعض. He said, verily those who believe and they make hijrah and make jihad with their wealth and their body in the way of Allah, and those who give them refuge and support them, they are allies to one another. Okay. والذين آمنوا ولم يهاجروا ما لكم من ولاياتهم من شيء. And those who they believe but they don't make hijrah, then you don't have any duty towards them حتى يهاجروا until they make hijrah. وَإِنْ يَسْتَنْصُرُوكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ فَعَلَيْكُمُ النَّصْرُ. But if they seek your support in the deen, you must support them. You're obliged to support them. إِلَّا عَلَى قَوْمٍ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُمْ مِيثَاقٌ وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. Except against the people that you have between you and them a covenant, and Allah knows everything that you do. Okay? Allah sees everything that you do. Okay? So that's the last point inshallah about this week's topic, Al-Wala' wal-Bara', alliance and enmity. Tomorrow's session will be about what is known for Islam by necessity, about Idhar al-Deen, about spreading the deen, making it dominate, prevailing your deen, and including here what is by ruling, by da'wah and by jihad. So we'll talk about what is known by necessity about these things tomorrow inshallah. Wa alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. If any questions you can ask. Everybody should have a quiz on the back of their handout as well. You filled it out already?